good day. My name is Janice May Kagimbal from BSTM2A. This is my video presentation about finance in ethics. Distribution of income. There is lots of money to be made in tourism. However, the income is rarely distributed evenly. More often than not, the vast majority of wealth made from tourism goes to large Western corporations, even if we concentrate on an area of tourism that is in this developing world. Much of the income from tourism is still swallowed up by international or organization known as economic leakage. Inherently, most of the jobs in the travel and tourism industry pay low salaries. Think the chef in your hotel restaurant, the maids who clean your beds, and the theme park ride operator at the fun fair. None of these people are likely to be paid high salaries. Access to services and facilities. The tourism industry is known to use and abuse local areas and resources. This is often of the local pollution. Golf courses require a huge amount of water in order to maintain. In some parts of the world where there are water shortage, this means local people may go without essential water needed for cooking, washing, etc. at the expenses of the tourism industry. Exploitation of children. Sadly, children are exploited with the tourism industry more often than we care to admit. Economic or sexual purposes and include the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of a child for exploitation. Children may be sold illegally, adopted, forced into early marriage, recruited into the armed forces, pushed into prostitution, or trafficked to work in mines, factories, or homes. In such environments, they are exposed to extreme forms of abuse and all denied access to basic services and the meeting of their fundamental human rights. Trafficked children often lack basic legal status and support network, making their condition virtually invisible. Exploitation of women. However, there are also many other ways that women are treated unfairly in the tourism industry. Most of the top jobs are done by men and women salaries. On, on average are significantly lower around the world than men's salaries. A practices by which a person achieves sexual gratification, financial gain, or advancement through the abuse or exploitation of a person's sexuality by abrogating that person's human right to dignity, equality, autonomy, and physical and mental well-being. Trafficking, pros- prostitution tourism, mail order, bride trade, pornography, stripping, gathering, rape, and sexual harassment. Sex tourism. For many, sex tourism invokes connotation of commodification and prostitution, but is not simply about sexual activities. Sex tourism is a response to the complex interaction of gender, class, cultural, sexual, and power relation in both the tourist and the person offering sex society in which they live. However, many people who work in the sex trade do not want to be there. Some are forced into this line of work against their will. Some are only children. Animal welfare has moved towards the forefront of consumer awareness in recent years. People are now largely empathic of animal rights and welfare. People are now preferring to visit safari parks over zoos, going to animal sanctuaries and conservation projects, and volunteering their time to help rather than hinder. Nonetheless, mal- maltreatment of animal that still happen in many contexts around the world, from dolphin in captivity to cat cave to riding elephants. Environmental destruction. It's ironic really that tourism all too often destroys the environment that is relies on for tourism to be ethical. Stakeholders need to ensure that any damage to the environment is minimized. This include a range such as reducing CO2 emissions to picking up litter to reducing the amount of plastic that we use. Water, land, air are getting increasingly polluted. Water tables are falling, soil erosion is leading to desertification. Global warming is well underway, and species are dying out 1,000 times faster than their natural rate of extinction. Cultural impacts of tourism. Tourists should be mindful of local cultures, religions, and customs and try not to offend people during their travels too. Authenticity in tourism is often a controversial topic as is globalization.